Now let's look at my two gets right here. We have Calum Mehay and we have one of my personal favorites, Russell Graham. Whoa, part of the Discord. What's up, Git? He ended up going 4-1 also. What I thought interesting is they both had challenging matchups into similar armies. So we have his Calum's list. He has Beast Boss and Squigosaur with no enhancements. Ooh, Big Mek with Shokk Attack Gun. Whoa, look at that, guys. Look at that. A mech on foot, just typical mech. Nob with Smash the Squig. Here's what Edwapa's Kill Chop is. A War Boss in Mega Armor, and then a Weird Boy. I'm hoping he did a solo, and if he didn't, easily stick him in a 10-man unit. Super awesome to do that. 2 10-man units, a Burner Boy unit, 2 units of Gretchen, 1 unit of Ludas, 3 Mega Knobs with Twin Kill Saws, a 10-man unit of Knobs, that Scalpel unit we love, 2 Storm Boys, a 3-man unit of Squighog Boys, War Bikers, a Battle Wagon, a Deff Dread with the Scorcher, 3 Claws, and 2 trucks. I like this combo of Battle Wagon, 2 trucks, or 2 Battle Wagons, 2 trucks, 1 truck. I think it's great. The Deff Dread, that's up to you as a get. You think you want to tuck into it. I think he's over costed, but the fact that you're looking for Battleshock tests between the Big Mek with the Shokk Attack Gun and the Deff Dread is showing his awareness to Battleshock being a strength into some of our harder matchups. Like Custodes, for example. If they can fail Battleshock test, you can end up taking them out in that game just because they couldn't do their strats anymore. We'll keep that in mind. If we have more access to cheaper Battleshocks or when our Codex drops, we have to, food for thought right there. So fun list, very different. So you guys take a second look at it. We got Burner Boys, we got Ludas, we have only 1 3-man unit of Squigs. Still brought the Battle Wagon and decided I could put different gits in it. We have the War Boss and Mega Armor for the Mega Knobs with the Twin Kill Saws. I like the Twin Kill Saws. So here's just a totally different to what everybody was saying. He didn't care what the people were saying about meta, me, or anybody else. He was like, I'm just doing whatever I like because I think it's good. And he did great. So shout out to you. Let's take a look at his lists. I mean, his matchups. I will say here, though, he did drop game 1, which does matter. I understand that. Points being made for that in the future. But just let's take a look at his first hard matchup, because this is something that we talk about as Orks. Very aware that Astra Militarum is one of our hardest matchups. People kind of scoff at them a little bit because they're so unreliable, yet they are reliable into Ork. So we have Lord Sola Leontus, the platoon command squad. That way he can put Grand Strategist for the Master Vox. We got Tank Commander, Ursula Creed for I think she's like another CP, everything, or order. She's another order. Catachan Jungle Fighters for that scouting potential. We have 2 units of Bulryns. These guys have great durability into Orks because they reduce damage. They have a good toughness. They can actually fight you back as an Ork player because they have just enough strength. The AP doesn't really matter that much with multi-damage. We have 1, 2, 3 units of Khazarkin, maybe trying to get those double orders off, coming off the table edges like we were talking about earlier. And then triple Manticore, followed by 2 Scout Sentinels. So real quick, let's look at what this is looking like. The thing here, if you haven't gone into it, why this is freaking annoying. Here's a Scout Sentinel, moves 10 inches with a 9-inch scout movement, okay? And it says, as his daring recon, at the start of your shooting phase, select 1 enemy unit within 18 inches and visible to this unit. Until the end of the phase, each time a friendly Astra model from this target makes a target against that unit, reroll hit rolls of 1. And if that unit's indirect fire ability, it does not suffer the penalty to the hit roll for shooting for targets that are not visible. That means he's ignoring the fact that he's indirect, taking a -1 to hit. So then he's now stacking and able to keep the stacking from heavy on this Manticore. So the Manticore, the heavy ability would give it +1 to hit when it's stationary. Of course, never moving. So it means now the Manticore is hitting on 3s and is re-rolling 1s, which is problematic because that means he's definitely going to reliably pop the truck now. Normally you're like, oh, I have a chance my truck might survive 1 Manticore because it's not like a high volume of shots. You can end up kind of whiffing on that. But if he's like, I get +1 to hit and re-rolls, all of a sudden he just start popping your staging units, and it's very, very problematic. Very, very annoying as a Ork player to know that you're getting disembarked and kind of dissected. And then once you get blown up, it might drop you in the line of fire of something like a Tank Commander or a Khazarkin or something like that, and they did just small arms fire your unit away. So Astra Militarum are super strong into Orks right now. A Bulgrin helped them kind of hold the line in the mid-table right there. This is another thing that I wonder, hey, if you have gas, you just run these dudes over. Do you get to make it, or is it still too late and they just shoot you off the table, right? So, and that's something we're going to keep in mind because, spoiler, we had that issue with our boy also that we're going to go over. So we have, sorry, I pulled that up twice. His second matchup. So from here forward, he didn't lose any of these games, but, just keeping this in mind for what happened here. We have Iron Hands, Iron Storm Spearhead, Iron Father Pharaoh. He's pretty cool, but he's the straight up Iron Hand name character. Librarian Phobos Arbor, Lieutenant with combi weapon, Tech Marine with the flesh is weak and the Tech Marine. This is I think the combi weapon guy is the one that allows you to reroll ones when you pick an objective. We have Heavy Intercessors, fun, interesting. Inceptor, Infiltrator, Scout, Redemptor, Dreadnoughts, and 2 Repulsor Executioners. Not the most meta list. Of course, you know if you lose the first round, you're going to go into another person who lost, which means they might not have brought the most meta list. That's okay. So we go into his third matchup with his Tyranids, the Unending Swarm. The thing is here is that this takes a long time to play. This is one of those armies that you might want to be like, hey, I brought my chest clock. Start going it. Otherwise, it might take up too much of the time. But we have a Death Leaper, a Neural Tyrant, a Tervagon, 3 units of gargoyles, one being a big fat unit of gargoyles. Keep in mind, these are the type of units that's going to say, hey, I'm going to move, then I'm going to shoot, I'm going to move again, I'm going to get right in your way, I'm going to stand right on the line and not let you go anywhere. I'm going to have crazy OC, touch multiple objectives. So it's pretty hilarious how gargoyles kind of work. And they can be annoying for orcs. Termagants, a big unit of Termagants, another big unit of Termagants, big Termagants, of course, a couple bricks, and the 10-man unit right there. Biovores, 2 units of Ectocrine, Lictors, Neurogaunts, Neurolictor, Ripper Swarms, and the Venom Thrope. So this is one of those units, armies that orcs do have the ability to punch through and chew through, but it comes down to, are you going to time out before you even get through the game? Hopefully you don't, but that's one of those weird armies that you're just like, I guess if you want me to run into you, I will. And then the orc has definitely an amount of punches to deal with all of that. So he put up a 99, almost a perfect score. Then we have, that was it, right? Make sure I messed that up. Then we have his fourth matchup, which was Angron, World Eaters. So we got Angron, Lord Invocadus, Juggernaut with flavored favorite of corn, Master of Execution with the Berserker Glaive. He's still great. Then we have, and this is good too, because he gives orders. Lord Solar Leontis means he hits on 2s because Lord Solar Leontis can actually tell the Manticores to get orders as well. So thanks to, of course, all these different rules that can stacking. So that means even more reliable because you're re-rolling 1s to push the point even further. We have the Jackals with 2 units of Jackals, of course, for a sticky objective. Corn Berserkers, World Eater Rhinos, 8-bound, and a Maulerfiend. It's looking very typical. I think Maulerfiend's a great rapid ingress target for orcs. I mean, not for orcs, sorry. For World Eaters, they really like that, but kind of need some kind of shooting to get the most effect out of it to get its bloodthirsting ability. So then we have his, like I said before, I think orcs do great into World Eaters right now, as long as you're CP managing. And then we have we have Chaos Demons with Be'lakor, Shalaxi Hellblade, and Scarbrand. 3 units of Nurglings, 2 units of Pink Horrors, Plague Marines, Blood Crushers, Flamers. Blood Crushers are freaking awesome. As a whole, orc players be very aware. Blood Crushers are great. They're like our Squig Hog boys, but oddly better in some ways. To do mortal wounds on the charge. They have a built-up 4-up invuln, so they become very interesting. And with the demons shenanigans of coming within 6 inches and redeploying shenanigans, I think just running into a bunch of those would be very annoying. But yeah, the thing is with demons is they're, have really good shenanigans, but at some point they got to get in front of you because they don't really got shooting, which means we're going to wand to them and we have all the tools to kind of deal with them and the amount of volume of punches, everything like that. So great job to Caleb